Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They touched down in the Sunshine State with a plan so grand, thinking they'd be the royalty of this palm tree land. They thought the glamour and glitz was theirs for the taking. Like a birthright claim, all the moves they were making. From the roar of a Ferrari to the red soul stride of Christian Louboutin, they had nowhere to hide. Oh, the world figured out those schemes and those scams, turned the power couple into quiet little lambs. No one wants them now, the party's gone dry underneath the hot and heavy Florida sky. Don't defraud America, the lesson is plain, or you find your lifestyle going down the drain. They went from fine dining and vintage champagne to a plastic tray and a heavy iron chain. It's a long fall from grace, a bitter old breeze, from high-end fashion to mac and cheese. Shoplifting doesn't pay, didn't they know? Now they're stars of a very different show. Poor old Pete is locked up in Alligator Alcatraz, lost his designer suits and all of that jazz. And Mel's sitting tight, looking out through the wire at the Broward County Ice Facility. The situation is dire. You can take the huckster out of South Africa, it's true, but the scheming stays stuck to them like glue. Will they be convicted? Will they be deported? All their golden dreams have been well and truly thwarted. Time will tell the ending, but the moral is clear. Don't bring your rackets and your swindles round here. No, don't defraud America. Ooh, oh, yeah.
Sunday Night Owls, welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Mel and Pete still making headlines. The program, yeah, they're still making headlines. Yeah, bo, they are definitely making headlines. And they are in News 24. Cockpot 24 runs a story about Mel saying everything he said was true. He stands by his racist statements about black people in South Africa. Well, I don't think he's going to be very welcome when he goes back to South Africa. I'm just saying, it's not going to go well for Mel and Pete. Pete sticks by his words, and Mel's already back there. Funny that the Crypto Noob is here because somebody was asking for you today. He said, where you been? Everything I said is true. Disbarred lawyer Pete Viljoen stands by his racist statements on social media and denies any wrongdoing, despite being labeled persona non grata in South Africa. He and his wife Mel dispute court rulings over unpaid rent and $14 million in tax judgment, claiming legal irregularities. Also denies being estranged from his children, says U.S. legal aid application is due to a lack of access to funds, not poverty. Well, after relocating to the U.S. In May last year, he frequently posted on social media targeting black people before he was himself arrested for shoplifting. Not all black people steal, but all the people who steal are black. Says the man who was caught shoplifting. Says the man who was caught shoplifting. When a black social media user responds to his comments, he replied, I don't speak blank anymore. He said he has no doubt that he's racist and he hates black people. Referring to the view of Dr. Llewellyn Kurlwitz, deputy chair of the Legal Practice Council, that he is now persona non grata because of his racist remarks on social media, he said he stood by his comments. Excuse me. Everything I said is true. If I said black people steal, it's what I've seen in the news. Every black man who, for example, commits murder, I see in the media. Wow. Despite his view of South Africa and his admission that he'd been mistaken about the Trump administration, he was mistaken about the Trump administration. In what way? Oh, did you think we want schemers, scammers, fraudsters, hucksters, and liars and thieves? No, we don't, Pete. We don't want liars and thieves. Nope. Said his problems began after he sold Tammy Taylor franchise license to Julius Malema in 2018. According to him, people with political connections later threatened him and demanded that he hand over his business to them. Malema really extorted my business from me. The EFF has denied these claims. The racists can go to hell. We know nothing about it. The present EFF is not involved in any franchise of that kind. In his interview with Rapport, Peet disputed the validity of a default judgment of $14.1 million against him in November 2024. It's a fake thing, he said. Mel and Peet also denied they still owed any outstanding rent at Tammy Taylor salons. Well, they owe $4 million to Tammy Taylor. Isn't that the settlement, the judgment against him here in the U.S.? He argued that the Menlyn Maine salon was sold to someone else and that this person took over the lease. When it was put when the judgment was granted against Mel personally, he claimed someone must have signed surety for him on her behalf. Mel said this past week, that's not my signature. Well, and then the whole thing about him being estranged from his kids. Who cares? Who cares? Well, that's the story. Let's continue on with this story a little bit longer, then we'll get back to things. Gosh, I got some phlegm build up here all of a sudden that I didn't have earlier. What's going on there? Mel and Peet Viljoen. This story was from 15 May. These people, you're welcome to have them back. They're just scum. They're just literally scum. Sitting here lying about America, looking for sympathy. I didn't see this story in You magazine. It's cold, lonely, and we're basically fed dog food. No, you're not fed dog food, but you're not getting champagne and caviar, you little prick. When first light of morning streams in through the small windows, she startles awake in her steel-framed bed. She's now in South Africa. Her muscles stiff, her body cold, her eyes full of tears. Mel Viljoen wakes up dreaming she and her husband are on an island with the sun on their skin, the wind in their hair, and the sand between their toes. And then reality hits me like a cannonball. It's a bitter torment. Shouldn't have been a thief. Her life couldn't be further removed from a sun-drenched island or from the life she and Pete used on Wood Hill Golf Estate, where her nails were studded with diamonds, her walk-in wardrobe was replete with Louis Vuitton, and her Ferrari was parked in the garage. Here at the Denver Contract Detention Facility, where she's been waking up sobbing every morning for the past month, she shares a hall with 70 other women. But it's better than the cement floor I had to sleep on when I was first taken into detention. At least her small steel bed has a flat pillow and a foil blanket. But there are a few comforts, and none of the women she shares a hall with speak English. That's because they're all criminals, too, and evaders. They're all criminal alien invaders who invaded this country. It's cold and lonely, and we weren't allowed to go out. If you want to look out through the small windows, you have to stand on a chair, but all you see is more prison. I haven't felt sunlight on my skin for 60 days. There are 3 TVs with 1 English channel. You can watch a movie on a tablet when it's your turn, but it costs 200 Rand. The former Real Housewives star admits she and Pete did boast about their wealth in the past. They boasted a lot, but now she's paying in ways she could never have predicted. We're basically fed dog food. It's a mixture of ground up stuff, and you can't tell if it's pork, beef, or chicken. I eat it when I have to, or I buy food from the prison shop, but they charge you 120 Rand for a can of tuna. I'm malnourished. The system is designed to break you. I'm being trampled, tortured, and screamed at. Tortured? Tortured, you say? Have you filed a grievance with the U.S. Prison Service for your torture? Or are you just embellishing, Mel? Just embellishing. The Viljoens were accused of stealing $5,300 worth of groceries from a Publix supermarket in Boca Raton over 6 months. She says it's all rubbish. The scanner didn't work. So what you're telling me, sweetheart, is every scanner in the pay yourself lane for 6-month period misread the items, but only for you, not for the other 50,000 people who shop there. Yeah. A scanning error crept in, she claims, which led them to unknowingly not paying for certain goods for months. Things like toilet paper, apples, fruit, salad, sparkling water, beetroot, bananas, and strawberries. So my question for Mel is, why is it of the 50,000 or so customers who shopped in that Publix over a 6-month period that only you and your husband are the ones who were caught and accused of shoplifting? Besides, black people shop there. Pete said all black people are thieves, or only black people are thieves. So why did they come after you? Why do they come after you? You see, these things just fall apart. They just fall apart. They just absolutely fall apart. Absolutely fall apart. She says the drama has little to do with the allegedly stolen items. They don't deserve the hell they're experiencing. Oh, yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. You are criminals. You are criminals who invaded my country, fraudulent basis as tourists, and overstayed your visa, made no effort to leave this country when your time was up. You are criminal alien invaders. You are criminals, and you've been deported. Welcome back to South Africa, sweetheart. We'll see if he gets deported or if he faces jail time for the shoplifting in Florida. Exactly. So you just take the food if the scanner doesn't work. Exactly. Give me a break. A pair were granted bail of $10,000. Now that's bail. For shoplifting, they had a $10,000 bond. Yet murderers in South Africa get a 1,000 Rand bond. 1,000 Rand. 170,000 Rand here for shoplifting. The accused murderers of Brendan Horner paid virtually nothing. They paid less than $100 for their bail, accused murder. Then one was revoked. After the bail, they were taken into custody by Immigration Customs Enforcement when authorities discovered they'd been in America illegally for 4 months. Their tourist visas had expired in November of last year, agents said, which means the case against them is no longer just about allegedly nicking beetroot and bananas. ICE needs to prove in an immigration court that they were indeed in the country illegally. Once that's done, ICE must decide whether they should be prosecuted or deported. Don't have to prove anything. We already know they overstayed their visa. The date they gave when they arrived, it's a 90-day visa. They were 4 months past that, here for 7 months. All I own is a bag of food and a toothbrush. My immune system has been deprived of its vitamins, and the cold is in my bones. This place is cruel. You can die here. No. Mel says her body and soul are shattered. I'm a soft girl because Pete used to spoil me. A difficult day would have been one where I had to get up before 8 in the morning. Now I cry myself sleep every day. Well, there are consequences to being a criminal. There are consequences to being an invader. There are consequences to being a fraud. Pete spoke at length about the gold and diamonds he owned, about friends who were dollar billionaires, about the opportunities that waited in the land of free and the home of the brave. The Tammy Taylor's dispute, in which California court ordered them to pay $4 million for copyright infringement and breach of contract, barely a ripple. So what about that $4 million, Pete? When are you going to pay that? Private investigator Mike Bolhois, probing them for fraud, hate speech and theft. He laughed. The National Prosecuting Authority considered looking into dossiers containing criminal charges, a mere blip on their radar. Then the house of cards collapsed. Pete was confronted by cops outside his rental apartment and Mel in her dressing gown. They did nothing wrong, Mel insists. The scanner at Publix is large, about 50 centimeters long and 30 centimeters wide. There's also a camera in which your face appears, and there's always a Publix assistant nearby. Everything I bought, I dragged across the screen. When the machine beeped, it was rung up. In the videos the police showed me, the assistants helped me the whole time. Did they show where the barcode had been changed on the item? Did they show that part? When you're done scanning, you pay. I didn't check every item. One day my card didn't work, but my manager didn't tell me there were items that hadn't been rung up. Why not? Because the manager doesn't oversee you scanning things on a honesty system. You cheated. You lied. It didn't happen once. It didn't happen twice. It didn't happen 3 times. It happened repeatedly over a 6-month period. And you stole simple things. I think my prosecution was planned, says Mel. Well, planned by who? Julius Malema? Does Julius Malema have the long hand of the law in Florida? Who did this? USCIS? Were they looking for you? Who's got a vendetta against you? Pete's tirades were anything but somewhat racist. Last year, he told the media, "There's no doubt in my mind that he's a racist and hates South African people," he said. "But it's her story, and she stands by it." Pete himself remains resolute. "If my answers upsets people, I apologize." Then he launched into another rant about corruption, judges operating without appropriate experience, taxis disregard road rules, underworld bosses, the issue of water and service living in Joburg. "I hate disorder. Remember, Mel doesn't automatically share my views." When they're taken into custody, she said Pete was innocent, Mel admits. But all she meant was that she was the one who scanned the groceries. So if there was an error, it was hers. She and Pete were confident they could fight the criminal case, but then ICE swooped. Mel was initially taken to Broward Transitional Center in Florida and transferred to detention facility in Arizona desert. Then relocated to Denver. ICE took Peet to the notorious alligator Alcatraz before he was relocated to a second detention center and then taken to the California City detention. And that's it right there. That's where Peet is still at. They have no contact for nearly a month after their first court appearance, but they can now communicate through platforms that connect ICE facilities. We've been apart for 60 days, and this process has broken us. I die a little more each day because we're always inseparable. It breaks my heart because I can hear in his voice how hard things are for him. Does he have a bunkmate? Is Peet somebody's B something? Is that what's going on? They previously said in the media that their visas were pending because they believed that was the case. Their visas were pending. Now, either you have a tourist visa or you don't. There's no visa pending. You don't enter this country and get it. We don't issue visas at the border. That's not how it works in America. That works in Africa and in Europe in some places. It doesn't work like that in America. You have to have your visa before you come here. So you can't say you were here and you're waiting for your visas. That's a lie. That's a lie. Caught in another lie. They blame illegal entity they believe was helping them with the process of immigration. But you came here under false pretenses. You came here as a tourist intending to defraud our country as an immigrant. They were under the impression the law firm would assist them with asylum that they had already applied to extend their tourist visas. You can't extend your tourist visa here. It doesn't work like that. You don't extend a tourist visa for an asylum application. We got the wrong advice and that's that. No, you're frauds. You came here, and from the moment you were on social media when you arrived here, Mel and Pete, you disparaged South Africa. You know, these hate wankers attacking me, saying I don't love South Africa. These people don't love South Africa. They disparaged South Africa. They lied about everything. They said that we're done because they thought there'd be no consequences. After taking into custody, all hell broke loose. Our wrists and ankles were shackled. Yeah, and we were put on a plane. I slept in a cold floor with many women in a small cell for 2 days. We only got dry bread. There was no shower. Then I was loaded into a bus for more than 8 hours to my next destination. Oh, you rode on a bus for 8 hours? My gosh, what are you, a poor Zimbabwean? Nobody received water, and they wouldn't say where we're going. Well, it's none of your damn business where you're going. You're a prisoner. You go where you're taken. Everyone was dirty and confused. Then I was brought to this detention center in Colorado. She said, everyone considered illegal immigrants treated badly. I misjudged Donald Trump in America. I thought this place would be an epitome of human rights, but I feel emotionally violated by the system. We feel violated by your racist rants, Pete, and by your theft and your defrauding of our system, Mel and Pete. We feel that way. So there you go. There you go. You misjudged Donald Trump. No, we don't like criminals. We don't want hucksters here. Go back to South Africa. Things were worse for Peet Alligator Alcatraz, who was locked up for 32 men in a steel cage measuring 7 meters by 14. He slept on the cement floor under floodlights with generators running alongside. They can only go outside once every 3 days for 20 minutes at a time to stand on synthetic grass, and they could shower only twice a week. He was then put on a bus to another detention center and then on to California. It's worse than anything the media reports. It's torture camp. The guards mock you. They eat in front of you and feed you almost nothing. Oh my gosh. Oh, more soup, please, sir. Can I have more soup? Oh, please, sir. Kindness, sir. Please give me kindness. People lose half their weight in 30 days. Some of the men are very aggressive and cause uprisings, and then they're sprayed with tear gas. There's no sun, no outdoor air, no TV, no tuck shop for extra food. None of this for criminals? He said the people are divided between those with criminal records and those without. Well, you all got criminal records. You're all criminals. He said it's hotel compared to Alcatraz, but I don't think many other men can endure what I'm going through. I think many men can endure what you're going through. You're just a drama queen. Mel said the women in her facility were dangerous and wild. I never felt safe when I turn my back. Things are stolen from me. I'm with women from Mexico, Venezuela, Cuba, and Puerto Rico, and they gang up against me. The guards don't help. A couple said they went to America because they were tired of the attacks on them. Both refer to the dispute with Tammy Taylor and Nail Brand, Peet's striking from the Law Society Register, and the decline of South Africa, ESCOM's problems and racial laws. Mel says a key factor in them leaving was hate against them. We wanted to start over, but this is cruelty on steroids. I didn't realize humans could do this to each other. Oh, you didn't realize that there was a penalty for defrauding my nation. I requested medical assistance 5 days ago, but nobody helps me. My cell is constantly kept at 18 degrees or cooler. Well, yeah, 18 degrees. That's a comfortable temperature. My lungs are struggling because I had asthma as a child. Oh, please, sweetheart, spare me. 3 days ago, I couldn't breathe and I could feel my heart struggling. That's nonsense. There's medical assistance at every detention facility. Mel said she and Peet are in contact with legal representatives and they're going to push for deportation. She's already been deported. Well, we'll have no other choice but to come home cap in hand. We'll have to endure the humiliation, but also tell people Trump isn't going to save anyone. Ha ha! Fuck you, baby! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Footsec, Mel. Footsec. Trump isn't going to help anyone. We don't help fraudsters. Welcome back to South Africa, Mel. They want to live in Cape Town. This experience like dying and being reborn, we know that it's truly important that we all live on borrowed time. They're already dreaming life on the outside, and nails factor into the equation again. She claims she and Peet met Tony Cucchio, an American entrepreneur who bought gel nails to the masses and created a $2 billion empire. And he'd love to open salons with us, but this time we're going to keep it small, maybe just 10 salons. If that billionaire is dumb enough to invest in these fraudsters... Delusional. Wow. These people are clueless. Absolutely clueless. Wow. Yep, all she can do now is wear a brown paper bag over her head. You are correct about that. Wow. That's incredible, folks. That's absolutely incredible. Wow. Wow. Where is that video at? There it is.
If there's an entrance, to see if it's like a outside unit or inside.
You're arresting me?
Petrus?
Sorry?
Petrus?
Yeah.
Petrus? Okay. You go by Peet or?
Yeah, Peet.
Peet? Okay. I'm Detective Williamson. All right. Obviously, I'm with the Boca Raton Police Department. I'm investigating a crime.
Look who arrested him. A black woman. He got arrested by a black woman.
That's been occurring since August of last year. So that's what you're being arrested for. It's for retail theft. All right. So what's going to happen is we're going to take you back to our headquarters, and we're going to sit there. We're going to have a conversation. All right. And then you'll be transported to Palm Beach County Jail. Okay. Who's the car registered to?
Well, either me or my wife.
You or your wife? Okay, where's your wife?
She's at the apartment.
Okay, which apartment? So that way...
I mean, check it out. Is a black woman with fake nails, but a black woman who's arresting him. Yeah, no, you're right. When they get to South Africa, the News 24 and IOL will love them. They'll be like the Rachel Khaleesi's of South Africa because they'll be bashing Trump. They'll be lying about Trump. Yep. Anyway. Wow. There's a mosquito. Oh, damn it. Oh, you little bastard. Almost got him. Big ass mosquito in here. Got in the door when I came in earlier. They are an embarrassment to South Africa. That's right. So who will steal my content now and alter it with me laughing at their misfortune and call me a callous, mean person? We can only guess about who that's going to be. Yeah. Yep. Mr. Bill from Saturday Night Live. Yep. Jail is not supposed to be a hotel. That's right. Poor Stinky Pete. Yeah, and how they feel about the people that they scammed. Exactly. Pros at burning their bridges while crossing them. Yep. The Patriot Act has never been overturned. Your First and Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights have been trampled on for a quarter century. That's not entirely accurate. As someone who served the intelligence community, I dispute that argument. When I got my driver's license, I did not consent to have a private company have my picture and address. Well, the problem with that, Scarlett, is the private company, that is the property of the government, not the private company. They're being paid to act as agents of the government. I think you're going to have a hard time fighting that legally. What is your deal? What's all this nonsense here? There's no added fee for self-checkout at Walmart. That's nonsense. I've shopped at Walmart and used the self-checkout. There's no fee. Not every store here has someone with a check stand over you checkout. Nope, not everyone. That's simply not true. Nope. I was at BJ's earlier. There was nobody watching BJ's. I checked out. Nothing. Well, Vodka Mata, you won't forget the footage. I just showed you something. Of course, Carte Blanche stuck their little freaking logo on that. It wasn't in their video. It's publicly available information. Yep. They're digging a sinkhole. Yeah, in Florida, it was an appropriate place to dig a sinkhole. Hey, Etienne, what's going on? Marty Lancelas, welcome to you. Varushka's here. Holden Caulfield, I see you as well. Yassine. I didn't say Scarlet Fire was a troll. I asked what's with all that stuff Scarlet Fire's put over. Just want to thank you for an awesome interview with my daughter earlier. Just watching it was awesome. It was great to see her so comfortable with you. Yeah, no, Utopia it was really great conversation. She had that tattoo. It sounded like something very personal that went on with her. I didn't indulge on that. That's her business. So, but we did talk about tattoos briefly. So, yeah, no, it was she was very good. It was great for people to see. One of the comments that came in during that interview was like, "No, I didn't say you're trolling, Scarlett. No, you're okay. Don't apologize. I just said why are you pushing all that stuff there." I just asked why you're pushing. That's all. I didn't accuse you trolling. You're not trolling. Yeah, so no need to apologize. I was just asking what that was all about. I guess it was because I talked about them using scanners, but you went off on a tangent from scanners, which is fine. I'm just curious why. But Utopia, yeah, your daughter, lovely young lady. One of the comments came up is like, wow, people talk about they can't make it in America, but this young lady found 3 jobs in walking distance of where she lives in a small town, and she's making a living off that. So. But she did, tell us that she's moving to California. The Hotel California, such a lovely place. Living it up at the Hotel California. All right, so we're caught up on that now. All right, Mel and Pete. United Airlines flight had to turn around over a Bluetooth device name. The United Airlines flight from Newark to Palma de Mallorca pulled a U-turn late Saturday. I didn't know we flew from the States to Mallorca over what appears to have been a suspiciously named Bluetooth device on board. Flight tracking data shows that the flight, which should have landed in Spain after a nearly 8-hour flight, instead returned to Newark after 4 hours and 24 minutes in the air. United Airlines told NPR via email that the flight turned around to address potential security concern. Multiple posts on social media from self-identified passengers indicate the problem was a Bluetooth device on board the plane. Some of those passengers posted photos or videos of them on board at the airport with the timestamps that matched the flight's actual schedule. Some passengers knew little more than the flight and attendants had asked them to turn off their Bluetooth device. One post referenced in-flight announcements with lots of comments like, "This little joke is ruining it for everyone." There's a security detail out there. Someone had a Bluetooth speaker and they named it a certain 4-letter word. So they have to inspect the whole aircraft, including the cargo area. 4-letter word in this case doesn't appear to refer to a curse word, but rather to a different 4-letter word that triggered airline security procedures. There's an active Bluetooth network labeled this, one self-identified passenger wrote on TikTok. Wow. The flight eventually reboarded and landed in Palma de Mallorca at 3:47 local time on Sunday, 9.5 hours late. Yeah, 9.5 hours late. And what happened to all those people and all that fuel? Hundreds of thousands of dollars wasted. Stupid people. Colonel Wyatt is a breath of fresh air. Thank you. Yeah, so, yeah, that's what happened there, folks. Okay, I got something to show you guys. You guys ready for this? You ready? T-Mobile, I got a call the next day from debt collector saying, "Oh, just ignore that." Okay. I've never heard you can't open Amazon not account. That's a recycled phone number. You need to go back to T-Mobile and tell them that's nonsense. They need to give you another phone number. That's why I never changed phone numbers. I've had this phone number since 2000, excuse me. Yeah, I know what the word was, Pat. I just didn't say it on air. That's the B word. So, you guys ready for me to show you? what I came up with tonight? I've done this before. I have it during Christmas season. I put it back here. I put it back here on the shelf, over on this shelf usually. And I have a little Christmassy celebration with a little rabbit called Miffy. Does anybody remember Miffy? Anybody remember Miffy? So, for some reason, Starbucks is starting a thing with Miffy. And I don't get this because I didn't know Americans even knew about Miffy. Remember Miffy? Check it out. A Miffy Starbucks. It even says Miffy plus Starbucks on the little skirt there. This is cool. For ages 3 and up, including people my age. Miffy. How cool is that? It was not inexpensive. Let me tell you that. This was not inexpensive. This bad boy cost me a fortune. But I didn't stop there. Apparently they have other things from Miffy. Check this out. Miffy and Starbucks. Okay. So next comes this coffee mug, Miffy and Starbucks. Got a little Miffy on there. And it has a top to it to keep it warm. Check out the top. A little Miffy on there. How cool is that? Also, way too expensive. Anyway, that's cool. So, yep. They don't even explain what Miffy is. I guess they just assume that people know what Miffy is. But most people have no idea what the hell Miffy is. Anyway, that was cool, huh? Is that the right way? Yeah, that was the right way. Why is it not going back in? Well, that's why. Hang on. There we go. Now it'll fit back in there. Okay, hang on. Something's not right. Wait a second. Why is that not? Oh, it's got to go this way. Okay, that's why. Okay, got it now. I can't repackage things. There we go. Got it back. Way it's supposed to be. Cool. That's pretty cool, huh? Miffy. Yeah, Starbucks. But this is a Dutch thing. Americans don't even know about Miffy, do they? Oh, that's not right. Oh, there we go. But how cool is that? Also very, very pricey. Very expensive. More expensive than I'm willing to spend money on. But it's Miffy, and I already had a Miffy here, and you just can't get Miffy in the States unless you're really looking for it. Anyway, so I thought that was cool. Went to Starbucks, and yeah. Trolls. Well, Scarlett, do you mean these? Do you mean these trolls? Do you mean these? These were bought over 30 years ago in Norway. When I was in Norway, I bought these over 30 years ago. Heidi, I thought you were in the Netherlands. That's from the Netherlands. Miffy is the name in the Netherlands. It's a Miffy shop at the Schiphol airport. These are actual trolls from Norway. Yep. Got those in Oslo. Hey, Jarrett, what's up? Yeah, an American-sized coffee mug. That's right. Sounds like something golfers do. You mean whiffy. Anyway. Well, trolls was something they came up with in America. That was an American thing. Let me see. That was an American, yeah. Trolls. Trolls, Troy's the 90s. Here we go. Here you go. This is an American thing. That's what you're talking about, that right there. Troll doll. Yeah, Debbie, I need a bigger mansion. The dolls were first created in 1956. Earlier were larger, made from softer rubbery material. Then the smaller versions became popular in 1959. Before becoming one of the United States' biggest toy fads in the early 1960s, they became popular again in the 70s and in the 90s, copied by several manufacturers. During the 1990s, several video games and a video show were created based on troll dolls. Yep. Well, here's a collection of trolls. Look at that. Man, that's a serious collection of trolls. Yep, so that's what your guys are talking about. Came from Denmark originally, but they were huge in the States. Medium-range strategic guard gnomes. That's funny. Played the video game. Okay. Stacks of troll dolls when I was a kid, so snippets. Those are real trolls. Trolls come from Norwegian mythology. That's where that comes from. Scandinavian mythology. Those are real trolls. Not those, Hollywood things I just showed you. I missed the troll fad. Alan, what's going on, man? What's going on? Right. Time for a little musical interlude here. Half hour into the show. DJ Silver Eagle, Twin Falls Delight. This is for the Hotzenberg family in Idaho.
The sun wakes up in a golden sprawl over fields of wheat so proud, so tall. Morning whispers, rivers hum their tune. A land where hearts can bloom. The mountains stand like ancient friends, the kind of peace that never ends. Oh, Twin Falls Delight, where the skies shine bright, a rocky mountain high, starry night, friendly faces, open doors, a place to dream, a place that's yours. Main streets alive, laughter fills the air, dreams right on the breeze without a care. The Snake River dances under the light, a sight that takes your soul to flight. Here roots grow deep and spirits soar, a little heaven forevermore. Twin Falls Delight, where the skies shine bright, a rocky mountain high, a starry night, friendly faces, open doors, a place to dream, a place that's yours. Oh, Twin Falls Delight, where the skies shine bright, a rocky mountain high, a starry night, friendly faces, open doors, a place to dream, a place that's yours.
Oh yeah, Twin Falls Delight, DJ Silver Eagle. Yeah. Moon peaks a full moon at 4:45 Eastern Daylight Time. Okay. Well, I don't plan on being up then, Scarlett. Where are you at, Scarlett? Thank you for sharing that. Song for a coffee and cigarette on the porch early in the morning. Yeah, it's a pretty good song. Seems Sassol's playing another restructuring. Wow, there you go. Fourth one in 8 years. No wonder they're not making any money. Thing of Nouns is here. Boston. Okay, Scarlett. I'm coming to New England. I need some champions. I need champions who are in touch with refugees. I am thinking about making an entire week trip. I'm trying to find a way to do it inexpensively and find some cheap, lodging along the way. And then I might stop in some place in New York. So Perth. King is in Perth. You are in Pretoria East, King. I'll be there next year for the Rugby World Cup. I'll be spending a week in Perth, catching the last Springboks pool stage game, and hopefully, I would expect their first round of 16 or whatever it is in the next round. I will be in Perth next year, King. I met some lovely South Africans who live in Perth when I was in Vegas. Okay, I was coming over here to look for something. Oh, that's what it was. I want maps. I'm trying to map out what I might do for this trip. Okay, so let me zoom up here. All right, so for this trip, which I might do for like a week, like you said, I will probably... Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to go... if anybody's in Albany, New York, I'll probably be able to see any refugees there. And then from there, I will drive over to New Hampshire. I'm going to go to Nashua. And I don't know if there's South African refugees up there in Portland. I'll consider going to Portland, but I haven't heard from people in Maine. But yeah, so Nashua, New Hampshire, which is my radio station. I plan on being there like on a Wednesday so I can do the radio show from the studio. And then I'll go down into Massachusetts. As far as Connecticut, I'm not sure about how to do that. I might go down to Hartford. Don't want to go all the way down to Bridgeport. That's going to suck. So anyway, that's the plan. But I need some champions in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Connecticut who can help put together meet and greets for me. Okay. Yep. Well, Dylan, those are for later in the month. I've got a teleconference on Tuesday to determine when I'm doing this trip to the meet and greets for Wisconsin and for South Dakota. So that's a whole other one. When that trip is settled, then I can do this other trip. Yep. And then we'll be on opposite sides of the planet again, Colonel. I don't know what that means, vodka model. Opposite sides of the planet. What do you mean? Oh, Australia. Okay, gotcha. Yep. I don't know anything about a Gray Vibe group. I don't know about that. Is that some cyber criminals? I don't know about that group. It's news to me. I don't keep up on all the miscreants that are on the dark web and on the internet. Keep up on some of it, not all of it. I need to learn more about your cause, respectfully. What do you mean by that, Scarlet Fire? My cause? I don't understand. Are you a refugee, Scarlet? A South African refugee? What cause? My cause is liberty and freedom. Justice. That's what my cause is. I'm not sure what you mean by my cause. And Utopia, your daughter wrote back and said thank you. It was super nice to meet you and finally talk with you. It was lovely meeting with her. Enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. Okay, someone's writing to me. I don't know who this is. I never saw this. March 15th. I never saw this message. So this is a very long update. I mean, this is like a novel this person sent me, and they're like that they've been told they have to wait. Yeah, you have to wait until your turn. Right? Just because you've been approved doesn't mean you get to come over. I mean, I don't understand why people don't understand that. You're new here. No, you're new here. Okay. That doesn't explain to me what you are. Are you a South African refugee or are you an American? That's what I'm asking, Scarlett. Well, if she wants to know more about me, I'm happy to tell her. I'm just trying to figure out who she is. I'm asking a simple question, that's all. And then I can explain who I am. Permanent housing tomorrow after 9 weeks hotel. That's a long time in a hotel, Nev. I'm glad you got permanent housing. Thank you, Vodka Model, for explaining. I'm just asking what's Scarlett an American or a refugee? An American. Okay. Well, why is Scarlett not telling me that? It's a simple question. It's a simple question. So, Scarlett, how did you find me? How did you find me? I'm just asking a couple simple questions, and then I'm happy to answer all your questions. I'm just curious. Louise Duplessis, welcome to you. Oh, John B. Wells. Okay, Scarlett, cool beans. Thank you very much. All right, Scarlett. Oh, yeah, I think I have seen that username there. Okay, so I'm a retired U.S. Army Colonel, 36 and a half years service, 34 in active duty. I served 3 tours in Germany. I served a tour in Italy. In Africa, I was stationed in Tunisia, Liberia, Botswana, Malawi, Niger, Mauritania, Uganda, and Ethiopia. I've worked in probably over 50 countries. I've been to 80 plus countries. And I started as a private in the Army after going to university at the age of 17 and not studying, and then going to the Army to get money for school. Rose to become a non-commissioned officer in the Signal Corps during the Cold War in Germany. Went back to university. While at university, I was in the National Guard for 2 years, and I was air defense there. Then came back in the Army as an intelligence officer as a second lieutenant. Rose to the rank of full colonel, which is the highest rank I go because I changed from the intelligence career field over to the foreign area officer field. I have worked at the Defense Intelligence Agency, where I wrote for President Bush, including a presidential daily brief that kept 640,000 people from starving to death in Africa. Among the 1,200 intelligence reports that I wrote in my less than 3 years there. I led the program to rebuild the Armed Forces of Liberia, the AFL, a $254 million program. While at the National Security Agency, I was chief of staff for a $3 billion acquisition program for cryptologic mission management. I'm a published author in academic circles. Let me see a couple of the books here. Where are they at? Here's one of them. Building Partner Capacity in Africa, Keys to Success. There's my name right down there, William Wyatt. It's by the Army War College Press. Where's the other one at? Where's my other book at? Huh. Author book doesn't seem to be up there. Did I move it? Oh, it's here somewhere. The other book was published by Stellenbosch University. I wrote for them. I'm a published author in Popular Press. I'm a radio host for a program out of Nashville, New Hampshire every Wednesday night, Common Sense Conservatives, Wednesdays 7 to 9. Let's see what else. I speak 6 languages to varying degrees of proficiency, 3 fluently. I was a tactical intelligence officer, a strategic intelligence officer, a counterintelligence agent, federal law enforcement official, badge credentialed. I was a signals intelligence officer, and I was an intelligence analyst throughout my career. What else? That's a little bit of it. And when I retired from military service in October 2019, I started consultancy to get American businesses to invest in Africa because my analysis was Africa's the next big thing. That's where the consumer spending will rise in the next 30 years, and that's where American companies should put their interest to make big money and to create jobs and investment in Africa. Rising tide lifts all boats. But the COVID scam started, and as soon as that started, I couldn't travel to Africa, so I had to cancel the trips I had laid on that I was being paid to do. And I started using my existing YouTube channel to talk about these topics in Africa: counterterrorism, the Sahel, the Southern African Customs Union, SADC, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, yada, 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 stuff like that. And it kind of caught on and resonated. And this was during COVID, and people wanted to hear from me, so I was interviewed in all kinds of programs. My existing channel started growing, and then it got too big for the leftists at YouTube. They didn't like it, so they censored my channel and attacked all my videos, none of which violate any of their standards. And then they took my channel away after it grew from 2 to 23,000 subscribers. I had to start all over again, start a new channel, and that's this channel here. And this channel grew slowly from nothing to 23,000 subscribers by December 31st of 2024. And at that time, I started covering a topic that people in South Africa were interested in, and my channel grew by 15,000 subscribers in January of 2025. And then President Trump announced the refugee program, and from there it took off till I got to 100,000 by June 4th. And since June 4th of last year till June 4th this year, I've only gained an additional 26, almost 27,000 subscribers. So are you still here? I don't see you commenting, Scarlett. So that's a little bit about me. People think of me the Africa guy, but I know more about Europe. More about Europe than most of these Russian specialists. I spent much of my life dealing with the Cold War, and I studied Soviet politics and literature at university. I also I'm a historian. I'm a political scientist. And so I've got multiple postgraduate experiences at Iowa State University. I studied community and regional planning, cultural anthropology, and international political economy. My thesis was on the housing subsidy program in 1995 that the African National Congress introduced to make affordable housing in South Africa. It didn't work, and I said it wasn't going to work because it didn't meet needs. It was based on a stupid measurement, and it didn't work. It failed. So I was correct in my thesis. Then I did a master's program with Troy University in international relations, and then I did my third master's program with the Army War College, where I received a master's in strategic studies. But 3 masters don't make a PhD, unfortunately. I wish they did. It doesn't work that way. It's an honor to have your service. May God bless you and thank you. Very welcome, Scarlett. Thank you. You're in Boston. You're welcome if you like to come to our meet and greets. I do meet and greets. I travel over. So I used to go to South Africa twice a year, but this past year, because of financial constraints and because of my injured hip, which had to get treatment, I wasn't able to make more. I only made 1 trip last year, and I haven't gone this year so far. I've received a number of threats, and so I have to be very careful about my trips to South Africa because I tell the truth and people don't like it. They just can't handle the truth, and that's unfortunate for them. Haven't had any more problems when I told the debt collector I have a number now, my American WhatsApp. Okay, cool. All right, so you should be fine there, Stephen. Okay. I'd love to biography about your life, Colonel. I've got a short biography here. Let me find it very quickly. Let me see. Oh, documents. It's going to be employment, post-army, biography. That's a condensed one. I don't have the full one here. Shoot. Where is my full one? Well, let me read you my condensed one, okay? So here's a condensed one, okay? This is not the full one. I have full ones much longer than this, but this one just for release to the press. It's a bit dated now, but this is just a rather short one. Colonel Chris Wyatt, Principal and CEO of the Indaba Africa Group, is retired U.S. Army Military Intelligence Officer and Foreign Area Officer of Sub-Saharan Africa and past Director of African Studies at the U.S. Army War College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. He was previously the Senior Military Advisor to the U.S. Mission to the African Union. Colonel Wyatt has extensive experience across Europe with 3 tours in Germany, a tour in Italy, the Balkans, the Levant, Southwest Asia, and further service in Africa with assignments in Tunisia, Liberia, Botswana, Malawi, Nigeria, Mauritania, Uganda, and Ethiopia. His tours in Africa include duty as a Senior Defense Representative, the Security Assistance Officer, and attaché assignments. He's a published author, has extensive experience in defense and security, strategic, tactical, and operational intelligence, as well as signals and counterintelligence, security sector reform, peacekeeping, international development, the health sector, HIV, AIDS, and Ebola, defense acquisition, diplomacy, program management, and speaks 6 languages to varying degrees of proficiency. There's a picture of me in a business suit at the Army War College and in Liberia with the gentleman who's no longer with us. He passed. Yeah, and I worked at the U.S. Africa Command, at the U.S. European Command, at the U.S. Army War College, the Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Security Agency. I taught ROTC at Iowa State University back in the 1990s. So there you go. Your resume must be, well, my full resume is 14 pages long. 14 pages long. So, long version. Here's my resume. Actually, this isn't the 14-page one. This is one I condensed to 7 pages. Okay. You ready for this? 7 pages. This is the 7-page CV. Okay, this is now dated. Okay. All right, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here because you don't need to see everything that's on here because it's got personal information. Okay. So here you go. So here is, here you go. So I'm actually going to make it bigger so you can see it. Okay. There we go. So here we go. I wish I could get rid of this little panel over. It doesn't let me get rid of it. Oh, I know. I can get rid of it. There we go. Cool. All right, here we go. Master of Strategic Studies, U.S. Army War College 2014. Master in International Relations, summa cum laude, Troy University 2006. Army Command General Staff College 2004. Defense Language Institute, Monterey, California. I don't even have the Army War College on there. I just realized that. Oh, no, I do. It's up there, yeah. Defense Language Institute with honors in French, Iowa State University, International Development Studies, BA in History, cum laude, Ohio University. Meritorious Honor Award, U.S. Department of State, President's Daily Brief, author recognition 4 times, Office of Director of National Intelligence, November 2005, March 2006, October 2006, February 2007. Director, Annual Agency Team Award, Defense Intelligence Agency, November 16, 2006. State of Hesse, President's Community Contribution Award, 1994. Distinguished Military Graduate, Ohio University, 1989. And I forgot the Liberia Award, the national honors I got from Liberia just a couple years ago for what I did there. Extensive experience in defense, international development, peacekeeping, senior leadership experience, extensive Africa, Europe work, adept at leading large organizations, multilingual, tactical, strategic counterintelligence expertise, regional specialist for Africa, published author, extensive strategic employment history, principal and CEO of the Africa Group, Director of African Studies, U.S. Army War College, Senior Military Advisor, U.S. Mission to the African Union, served as the Ambassador's Principal Military Advisor and represented the U.S. Ambassador at the African Union and abroad, and as the U.S. Africa Command Liaison Officer to the African Union, coordinated all security assistance or security cooperation with the African Union, including counterterrorism, fellowship training program, invitational travel, foreign military financing, the African Contingency Operations Training Assistance or ACOTA program, gender-based programs, and Section 1206 counterterrorism. Reported on all peace and security programs, developments, and peace support operations, including the African Union mission in Somalia, AMISOM, the African Union mission to the Central African Republic, Mission Internationale de Soutien à la Centrique Afrique, sous conduite africaine, MISCA, and the African Union support mission to the Ebola outbreak in West Africa, ASOA. Liaised with the African Union Military Attaché Committee of 46 Nations, worked directly with the African Union Peace and Security Council, PSC, the Peace Support Operations Division, PSOD, and the AMISOM Military Operations Coordination Committee, the MOC. Developed programs to support for gender integration, security sector reform, disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration, DDR programs, military exercises, counterterrorism, coordination with NATO, and African Union Peace Support Structure, the African Standby Force, ASF, and the African Capacity for Immediate Response to Crisis, the ACERC. Prior to that, I was Chief of the U.S. Office of Security Cooperation in Uganda, and then I was a Senior Foreign Area Officer at the U.S. Africa Command, Chief of the U.S. Office of Security Cooperation in Mauritania. Established an open OSC Mauritania and Nouakchott, led $60 million in Section 1206 counterterrorism training equip programs for ground, air, and maritime forces under 1206, and the Trans-Sahel counterterrorism program. Developed a security cooperation relationship with the Mauritanian Armed Forces. Planned, coordinated, and executed IMET, CFTP, 1206, and HIV programs. Before that, Office of Security Cooperation Niger. Before that, Deputy Division Chief and Branch Chief, South International Relations, International Military Engagement Division. Before that, Chief of the U.S. Office of Security Cooperation in Botswana. Before that, Chief of the Office of Security Cooperation in Monrovia, Liberia, where I led and managed the Security Cooperation Office of the American Embassy in Monrovia, Liberia, responsible for security assistance to the Republic of Liberia. Also served as the government. Oh, hang on a second. That mosquito's back. Did I get him? I don't think I got him. Let's see him. Almost got him. Government technical monitor with daily oversight and direction for 2 Department of State contractors, DynCorp and PA, as GTM oversaw and directed contracts valued at over $251 million with more than 570 expatriate and local national employees for a train equipped program undertaking the creation of a new 2,000 soldier armed force of Liberia. Planned and executed the international military education, humanitarian assistance, humanitarian civic assistance, President's Emergency Program for AIDS relief, military and military cooperation, combined exercise, excess property programs, led efforts to recruit women into the Liberian military, developed gender-specific training programs for the Armed Forces of Liberia. Before that, I was Deputy Chief of the Africa Division of the Defense Intelligence Agency at the Pentagon. And before that, I was Southern and Central Africa Branch Chief at the Pentagon. And before that, I was Senior Africa Analyst at DIA. And then before that, Chief of Staff for Cryptologic Mission Management at the National Security Agency $3 billion acquisition program, where a staff of 78 worked for me. And then before that, I was the Executive Officer for the Cryptologic Mission Management Strategic Partners Initiative, and a Foreign Area Officer, Commander of Vincenza Military Intelligence Detachment, Counterintelligence Coordinating Authority in Bosnia, Assistant Professor of Military Science, Brigade Intelligence Officer, Battalion Intelligence Officer. Foreign work experience, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Kampala, Uganda, Nouakchott, Mauritania, Niamey, Niger, Stuttgart, Germany, Lilongwe, Malawi, Gaborone, Botswana, Monrovia, Liberia, Tunis, Tunisia, Tuzla, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Vincenza, Italy, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Iraq, Gelnhausen, Hanau, Germany, Bad Kreuznach, Germany. Language is French, fluent reading, writing, speaking, German, fluent reading, writing, speaking, Swahili, limited speaking, Afrikaans, limited reading, and Setswana, rudimentary conversational. Some of my recent things just before I retired that I did. Big leap over fossil fuels, renewables in the developing world, a panel member of the 16th Annual American Renewable Energy Day Conference in Aspen, Colorado. Current state of U.S.-Africa trade, a guest speaker at Trade with the Africa Summit in Chicago, Illinois. Repatriating ISIS fighters and family members, guest speaker in London. China and Africa Energy, guest speaker, Canada-Africa Network Conference, Vancouver. The new AFL, Reflections and Expectations, guest speaker, Liberian Studies Association 51st Annual Conference at Concordia University in Chicago. U.S. Military Engagement in Africa and U.S. Policy in Africa, visiting professor, Armed Forces and Mauritania Staff College. China and Africa Energy, guest speaker, 11th Annual Energy Africa Conference in Denver, Colorado. G5 Sahel Defense College, visiting professor, U.S. Foreign Policy in Africa, U.S. Military Policy in Africa, U.S. Africa Command. South Africa's Fragile Democracy, guest speaker of the Foreign Policy Association's Great Decision Speaker Series, U.S. Army Heritage and Education Center, U.S. Army African Alumni Symposium, panel member, Building Partner Capacity, facilitator, Next Generation African Leaders, Violent Extremism Organization Africa, and Building Partner Capacity. Joint Special Operations University Adjunct Professor for the Interministerial Executive Collaboration Course in Liberia. 101st Airborne Division 1st Brigade Combat Team, guest speaker. 101st Airborne Division, different speaker, African Lion 2016 in Morocco, U.S. Naval War College Regional Alumni Symposium in Rhode Island. Recent podcast, when I was retiring, the Armed Forces of Liberia Today, forecasting 2019 South African elections, the complex political landscape in Nigeria, the strange bloodless coup in Zimbabwe 6 months later, what is the state of U.S. relations with Africa, South Africa's election and the maturing of democracy, and the strange bloodless coup in Zimbabwe. Decorations, Legion of Merit, Defense Meritorious Service Medal with 6 oak leaf clusters, Meritorious Service Medal with 2 oak leaf clusters, Joint Service Commendation Medal, Army Commendation Medal, 8 oak leaf clusters, Joint Service Achievement Medal, Army Achievement Medal, 4 oak leaf clusters, Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Service Medal, 2 oak leaf clusters, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, Southwest Asia Service Medal, 3 stars, Kosovo Campaign Medal, Global War and Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Global War and Terrorism Service Medal, Armed Forces Service Medal, Army Service Medal, Overseas Ribbon, it's actually 12. That says 10. NATO Medal for Bosnia and Kosovo. Saudi Arabian Kuwaiti Liberation Medal, Air Assault Badge, Joint Meritorious Unit Award, National Security Agency at the Defense Intelligence Agency, and the Africa Command and Valorous Unit Award for 3rd Battalion, 8th Cavalry, the Gulf War. That is the short version. Are you all bored? Snippet says, how old are you? 200 years old? That's the short version. I didn't even go into depth. I mean, what I did in Liberia is listed this big. It's actually like 4 pages what I did in Liberia. I shortened it up. Apply for refugee status in Australia. Stay in Australia now. The government declined my application after 8 years, no interviews. Okay, King. Gotcha. When you're asked why you're interested in the program, say you tried asylum in Australia and they refused you. There you go. So, nobody's saying anything about me reading that. She asked, and so I read it. FEMA Region 3. How's it going, Mad Max? So here are the places oh, wow, you're the real deal, Superman. You must drink a lot of coffee. I don't drink coffee. It's an evil substance invented by Satan to enslave mankind. I do drink this, mostly milk and sugar frappuccino occasionally, which really drives Arctic nuts. So now I'm going to go through where we've done my meet and greets across the United States at my own expense, although I've had a few sponsors who help with some of the trips, but most of it's come out of my pocket. Okay, so here you go. Here are the trips I've taken in the United States. Now, this doesn't include the 17 meet and greets I did in South Africa, where about 3,000, close to 3,000 people came to my meet and greets in South Africa. So we started with Birmingham, Alabama. That was the first trip. After Birmingham, the next one was Twin Falls, Idaho. After Twin Falls, Idaho, I went to Rochester, New York, which is here. From Rochester, New York, the next one I went to, now I'm starting to forget which order they were in. Rochester, then I went to Riverdale, Maryland. And after Riverdale, Maryland, then I went to Pittsburgh. And then the next one after that, gosh, what was the next one after that? Trying to remember if I think I went from, I did a Hershey, Pennsylvania, Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Then I went to Pittsburgh again, Columbus, Cleveland, Erie, Pennsylvania, then Buffalo, New York, and came back down. Then I went down to Rockville, Maryland, but that was later on. Went to Virginia to Kings Dominion, Richmond, and Harrisonburg. I flew to Florida. I went to Palm Harbor, St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Orlando. And then most recently, I did the Rockville, Maryland. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 meet and greets, visits. I did more than this. Some of these places I did multiple meet and greets, like in Texas. We had a big meet and greet, and then I went and met with South Africans at least 4 different times. So really I had like 5 meet and greets there. Yep. Alan says, Scarlett, you just had to ask. Yes, and I got that map from a South African, Adam, when he gave me that map. But I had to come up with color push pins because the black or the bronze ones you couldn't see on the map. So next trip's coming up. Here's the bronze ones down here. I just started putting them across the bottom when I removed them from the map. Next trip up is going to be, I've got a trip that's coming up to Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, and possibly Iowa. This area here. That'll be coming up in June, most likely. And then also in June, up here to New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. That's 2 trips coming up in June. And then I haven't got any trips planned out beyond that, so we'll see how it goes. People are asking me to come to Oklahoma and other places. Johan Stefan says, thank you for caring, not only for South, but for caring. Well, you're welcome, Johan, but I take a lot of abuse for it. And people who have serious penis envy attack me. You have a friend that works in the New Hampshire Republican Party. Well, my friend Don Bolduc ran for the Senate there a couple years ago. Do you know who Don Bolduc is? He's a retired 1-star Army general. He ran for the Senate, and Trump didn't back him. Yep. Here he is, right there. There's Don Bolduc. Really good American. He's a reserve police officer now. Yep. He was Republican nominee for the 2022 U.S. Senate election in New Hampshire. Lost to Maggie Hassan. Yep. Yep. That's him. Special Forces guy. He had 14 tours in Afghanistan. Crazy. I don't have any tours in Afghanistan. I've got multiple combat tours, but not in Afghanistan. Hey, Jasons, what's going on? Are you still in Erie? How are things? Are they improving, or is it still crappy? So you know Don Bolduc. He's a great guy. Well, Scarlett, maybe we should reach out and touch each other electronically, like AT&T said. Ebola Games, what's up, man? Work Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. After work and weekends to drive. Yeah, Max is trying to bank that coin. But Max, you're off all the assistance now. It's all on you now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. If we could get to another 89 subscribers before the 4th of June, that would be great. That would mean we actually got 27,000 a year. So it's not great. It's a little over 2,000 a month. Ebola Games, you don't have to apologize for being late. You show up when you show up if you want. Yes, New York has a Muslim mayor. So does London. So does Manchester. What's your point? Yep. Create a super chat goal. Well, I didn't do that. I haven't done that. I should have done that. So we did reach last month's revenue on the channel. Maybe it might be a few dollars more after today's numbers, and then adverts come in for today. So we'll see. Anyway, Scarlett, that's interesting to hear. All off assistance to listen to your advice, save and invest. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, look, there'll be time for splurging later. How's my little friend doing there? I love showing that video. Well, you'll be sharing my channel. Well, thank you, Scarlett. Please let people know. And so, Scarlett, let me explain how the channel works. I got 2 channels. I got this one and @Real Chris Wyatt, but that channel is language, and that's my original channel that YouTube took away from me when they falsely claimed that I violated the rules. And then I started this one. They kept me in the doghouse for 2 years, claiming that I couldn't restore it because it had been deleted. They said they deleted it, but they don't delete anything, YouTube. It's sitting on a server somewhere. So I appealed immediately. They responded and said, no, you broke the rules. I said, I didn't break the rules, and they ignored me. So I appealed 6 months later and said, oh, it's too late. Your channel's gone. Then 22 months later, after they restored Donald Trump's channel, I went back and I wrote a very straightforward and said, you violated the terms of service, not me. I acted in good faith. When you changed the rules, I went back through my 1,400 videos that I produced, and I removed 43 videos that might potentially violate your rules because they changed. And then a month later, you took my channel down for a video that no longer existed. And I respectfully ask you that you restore my channel, and they did. But that channel doesn't go anywhere. So it's called @Real Chris Wyatt. Now the Real Chris Wyatt. Oh, what the hell is this? And we got. Oh my God! Seriously, Felly, this German, pseudo-German, I don't know what she looks like, she's half Thai, she's talking about politics, about Trump in Germany. Please, she'll get 500,000 views on that. It really pisses me off. Anyway, so here's the other one, America's Pulse with Chris Wyatt. So this is the other channel. It's at Real Chris Wyatt. So, but I don't, this 5 years ago, October 2020, before I got attacked. So I got 140,000 views in that video. And then I got attacked, and now I get like 285. So this is one I did 10 days ago. There's a mosquito. Hey, dang little bastard. Almost had him. One I did 10 days ago. And this one gets 285 views. Here I get hundreds of thousands of views. This is what I got 10 days ago. Okay. Hello, folks. Welcome back. Chris here in central Pennsylvania in a local cemetery where we've been honoring our former service members, our veterans who've passed away, with flags placed at their grave markers. And it reminds me in this 250th anniversary of our Declaration of Independence, many of the reasons why I served in uniform for 36.5 years. Love of country, love of freedom, love of liberty, and service to nation, which all of these gentlemen and ladies who are buried here, who are veterans, expressed in some form, shape, or fashion during their service to the nation, whether it was in the Revolutionary War or it was in the Civil War, First World War, Second World War, the Gulf War, wherever it was. They all put the best measure forward to defend this land. And it's worth it. Defending America is worth it. In these jaded times of social media and social media warriors and fake news and journalists who can't tell the truth even when it's staring them in the face, understand this. The American experiment is one worth pursuing. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by the Creator with certain inalienable rights, chief among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I believe firmly in that. And I believe firmly in our Constitution, so much so that I took an oath to support and defend that Constitution for nearly 4 decades, in uniform, most of that in active service, 34 years. Millions of men and women came before me, and I hope millions come after me in defense of this grand republic. Something worth saving, something worth fighting for. Ignore the politicians, ignore the late night pundits, ignore the people that truly don't love America for what it is. A nation where your past means nothing. Well, your ancestors' past. We don't apply collective guilt. We don't expect you to pay for the sins of your father, your grandfathers, or your grandmothers. We judge you, at least until recently, for the content of your character and for your actions, not for the color of your skin, not for your faith, not for your origin, not for the deeds or misdeeds of those who came before you with the same bloodline, but on your actions and the content of your character. And that's part of the magic that is America. As we approach this 250th anniversary, which seems to be largely falling on deaf ears, it's very distressing to me. As a young man, as a child, essentially, well, teenager, this bicentennial in 1976 was celebrated everywhere. Everybody talked about it. Official cars and food and cereal boxes, and it was commercialized, and everyone talked about the bicentennial. There was so much patriotism in this country. 50 years later, I struggle to find that same sense of love of country in so many aspects of life today. Some of us are reverent, some of us respect, some of us anticipate, some of us will celebrate this 250th anniversary of America. Others are just along for the ride. And you know what? We can carry the freeloaders. But for the patriots, we need you to step forward and celebrate the greatness of this nation, of this experiment, the greatest in the history of humankind. And if you don't like America, then leave it. If you love this country, you'll stand and fight for it. God bless. Take care. So that's what I did just before Memorial Day on that channel. So yeah, America's Pulse with Chris Wyatt, and it's got 22,000 subscribers, but it says only 966 videos. That's because when they restored the channel, they started giving me strikes on videos. So I took down several more. I just made all my live streams private for that. So if you want to subscribe to that channel, that's the link to it right there. So America's Pulse. I know some of you don't even know about that channel. I don't put a lot of content on there right now, but I still put stuff on there. And then Phoenix says, you will leave a legacy behind. Your life is inspiration to many of us. Well, thank you. Ebola Game says, he's unknown to me, but Ebola Games, I've seen your username here before. And then, do we still have Scarlet, or is Scarlet left? I'm doing this for Scarlett. And then on my channel, I did a Memorial Day one, which hasn't got many views. So I risked the algorithm, which is fine with me, by putting this. It has, so the 2 videos after this has 45,000 views. The one just ahead of it has 12,000 views. This one has 1,200 views, and it doesn't resonate, which is a shame. I did this one about Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain. Did I do that? No, I don't think so. Okay, so here's one I just did, remembering our fallen on this Memorial Day. Hello, folks. Welcome back. Memorial Day 2026 is rapidly approaching, and this is America's 250th anniversary of its Declaration of Independence on July 4th. But at the end of May, we celebrate, or commemorate, I should say, commemorate Memorial Day. This is for our fallen. Every year in communities across America, veterans, their families, their loved ones, members of the community go out into local cemeteries wherever veterans are buried and place U.S. flags at their gravesite in honor of those who served in uniform. Not just those who've fallen in combat, but those who serve in uniform and are no longer with us. They passed on. This year, perhaps we need to do better advertising, or perhaps the civic binds that tie America together are fraying. I'm not sure which it is. But in the past, we've had like 40 people show up to do this. Perhaps we're just not advertising well enough. But here in a local cemetery in central Pennsylvania, it's just a handful of us, about 7 or 8 actually putting it out. And 2 of us are walking wounded. One who's got a boot on his leg for a broken bone, and me with my hip. But nonetheless, we come out here to honor our veterans. And in this cemetery, there are veterans from the French and Indian War in the 1750s, the American Revolution, the War of 1812, the war with Mexico, the Civil War, Indian campaigns out west, the Spanish-American War, the Philippines, which is part of that, the First World War, the Second World War, Korea, Vietnam, I don't know if there's anybody here from Panama, and the Gulf War. All veterans who served in uniform, as well as veterans who served and never served in a conflict, or served in a conflict and then later passed away. So here we're out in this part of the cemetery where some very old gravestones are. And in this area around me, we've got folks going back to the 18th century who are buried here. And we honor our veterans each and every single Memorial Day with this effort to put flags out. Flags provided by the Veterans Administration, and veterans, their families, their friends, loved ones, and community members across America go out to cemeteries and place these flags. Here you can see a small sampling, a local cemetery. Each of those American flags represents a former service member, someone who served our nation in uniform. Now the section coming up I'm going to turn to has a lot of these flags. See some over there in the distance. This section right here has a lot of flags. Some of the oldest stones in the cemetery, you can see like those stones right there from the 1700s and early 1800s. Many veterans buried here. As I said, every year for Memorial Day, this is what we do to honor our fallen, whether it was in service in uniform or they've since left this earth. We thank them for their service and we honor them by placing these flags at their grave sites. I encourage more Americans to return to a spirit of patriotism and love of this country, and ask that they come out and join us at next year's event. Also on Memorial Day, the veterans of foreign wars do honor ceremonies at each of these cemeteries. We go out in the morning with a rifle team, an honor guard, and a bugler to visit these cemeteries where the fallen are and give a salute every Memorial Day. And then many VFWs later have, and some American Legions also do a parade on Memorial Day. Thank you for your time, and I hope that those around the world have the same reverence and respect for those who served in uniform to defend their freedoms and liberties. Many pay a high price. All pay some sort of price. Thank you for your attention. God bless. Yep, so that's what I did for Memorial Day, that one there. So anyway, yep, and I get attacked all the time by the haters who just can't handle the truth. Missed the poll you did on the dates, or if you still, what was the outcome? Over half were from February through September of last year, 52% at over 200 out of 400 plus. Yep. Okay, you're welcome, Jason. It's my pleasure. But my service wasn't just here. As you can see, I spent most of my career overseas. Over half my career was spent overseas. And I helped people around the world. I ran HIV programs in Africa. I established HIV programs. I improved HIV programs. I did education. I taught at military institutions to ensure respect for civil authority. I did peacekeeping operations. I fought in combat for people's freedoms and liberties. I did lots of things. Yep, lots of things. So, okay, cool. So what do I miss here? Anything else? So Scarlett, I'm glad you popped in here. And thanks for coming over from Caravan to Midnight. Yep, John B. Wells. I was on there, last week or the week before? I can't remember. Yep. So I've been a frequent guest on many programs. So lately I'm not doing many of them. I do John B. Wells. I think I've done about 10 appearances in John B. Wells, maybe 12. And I've was a regular on Biz News in South Africa, but they're going a different direction now. So they want to keep changing their guests, and that's fine. So anyway, but yeah, so I wonder if that's what the reason for that is. But anyway, so I'm not going to get involved in that nonsense. That's not for me. So here's something else I do. I don't usually cash very often, but all coins that I have, I save and put in the bank. I don't spend coins. Every coin I get goes in the bank. Every single dollar bill that I get, occasionally I get a $2 bill handed to me. Those go in the bank. And now, because of Joe Biden's inflation, the dollar isn't worth much. So now every $5 bill that I get goes in the bank. So if I get a $5 bill, anything from 5, a 2, or a 1, and all change goes in the bank. So there's some automatic savings right there, $11. And that $11 is from a $20 bill. So I only spent $8.60. The other money is going into savings. That's just a personal rule. I mean, not everybody can do that, but it's amazing how that'll stack up over time. I have teleporting capabilities. I don't know about that. In Boxburg, okay. Well, Scarlett, I ran for office 2 years ago. In fact, do I have any of that here? Oh, I have the sign. Where's it at? Yeah, I ran for office a couple years ago. I ran for the state legislature. And I spent my life savings, not all of my life savings, but I spent $22,000 of my life savings to run for office. When people offered to donate money to my campaign, I refused. I said there are 5 candidates in the race for the primary. No one knows who's going to win this thing. Save your money for the general election because, and so I spent my money to do it. And, yep. And do I regret it? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit, because I didn't know how dirty politics was. I mean, I'm not naive. I'm a political scientist, but I didn't think people were that dirty at the local level in state races. But the amount of money spent on the race was obscene. I spent $22,000, and then a couple people did in-kind donations right at the end for about $3,000. So my campaign cost $25,000. This young kid spent $5,000. That's $30,000. Then a guy who was backed by the outgoing Republican senator from the area, he spent over $80,000 on his campaign. And then the guy who got campaign contributions from the former representative who became the senator spent $100,000. And then someone else spent over $100,000. So that campaign for a state legislative position was over $300,000. I don't know if it set a record in Pennsylvania, but it certainly wasn't. And that's quite a bit. It was ridiculous. Yeah, I ran for office. I also threw my name in the hat and the ring to be ambassador to South Africa. I knocked him. Kill him. No. Got him. Ha ha. Got the little bastard. There he is. There's that dead mosquito now. Yeah, you're dead, buddy. You are dead. You are dead. You little bloodsucker. Just make sure you're dead now. Smash you. Don't need frickin' any of your little tropical diseases. Yeah, so I also threw my hat in the ring to be the ambassador to South Africa. Deputy Undersecretary of State for African Affairs for the State Department, the Undersecretary of Defense for African Affairs for the Department of Defense. A couple of people who are well connected in D.C. actually gave my name to the Trump administration. Never heard from them. I've never given money to the Trump administration. I'm not rich and wealthy. I'm not connected, so I never heard from them. and that's fine, whatever. So, yep, never heard from him. No, Soros is not a place I would get money from. That's for darn sure. That's for darn sure. All right, so. And also, by the way, so here's other things about me, Scarlett, that you don't know, that many of my viewers know. I was a farmer. I was a dairy farmer in my youth. I ran a dairy farm in southeastern Ohio, rural Appalachia. I had jerseys, used to sell milk and butter. And I had a Guernsey and a Holstein, but mostly jerseys. I had turkeys, ducks, chickens, rabbits, and goats, and didn't have sheep. Never had sheep. Yeah, and I was in 4-H, and I was in the Civil Air Patrol, and yep, that's a few other things about me that people don't know about. Yep. Oh, and I was a disc jockey back in the day, and I used to break dance. It's been 40 years, but 30 years. Wasn't a very good break dancer, but I was okay. And I was a disc jockey. And so now I make AI music. And I'm a bee farmer. Thank you for that, Fred. I forgot about that. I went to Michigan State University for a program a couple years ago and graduated from the program and qualified beekeeper now. So, yep. Yeah, that was a big mosquito. Yep, that's dead now. Former Navy SEAL Chad Wright said exactly the same thing about running for local government recently. Yeah, I had no idea it was that dirty. I mean, my signs were stolen. Every one of my signs cost me $9 or $10 a piece. They were all stolen. Well, not all stolen, but I would say that 35% of my signs were stolen. Also, one of the other candidates broke Pennsylvania election law. I won't go into it, but broke Pennsylvania election law. The list goes on and on. Anyway, it was just really, really frustrating. Four of us that didn't win the race were not happy about it. Oh, and yeah, and I grow raspberries. Yep. And I do this news program. That's where it's going. So Scarlett, I do the news program 7 days a week unless I'm traveling. Every day it's tied to South Africa 6 p.m. time. So when we have daylight savings time, which we still have, and hopefully it stays, it's 7 hours, but the rest of the year it's 6 hours. So right now we're 6 hours ahead of South Africa. So right now my news is every day at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, unless I'm traveling or on the weekend there's rugby that interferes with it. So I do that. And I start with South Africa. I work around Africa, then I work around the world, and eventually I come back, and the last news I cover is the United States, and I cover that. So I do analysis videos of politics, economics, cultural things. I cover space launches. I'm an amateur astronomer. I love astronomy. Absolutely love it. I have a favorite moon. My favorite moon is Enceladus. It sounds kind of geeky, but it's true. My all-time favorite television show is The Big Bang Theory. So there you go. You can enroll in a PhD in applied anthropology now, too, in refugee studies. Can you give us some optimistic words for the USA? Of course, of course. The USA is on a trajectory that's going to bring us back bigger than ever, not to quote Trump, but the amount of money that's being repatriated into America, Trump should have gone back and lowered the corporate interest rate again. When he lowered it to 21%, great things happened to America. And so we have a bright future in America, but we need to get rid of rhinos and demon rats in Congress because these are obstructionists and they keep burying us in debt and they put us in a bad way. We can start paying our debt down if we just quit wasting money. But the United States is the most dynamic economy in the world. It is the place with the most brain power. It attracts the best minds. The illicit and unfortunate attacks on the current administration, they do some wacky things, but most of what they do is good, and we're going to be better off as a result. You like the moons, Rena, but I'm not a fan of our moon. Our moon's just a dust bucket, but Enceladus is covered in ice and has a liquid ocean underneath it, and the pull of its parent planet causes friction, which causes cryovolcanoes, which are incredible. $3.59 for petrol in Richmond today. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, Mad Max. It was $4.49 here, but we have 78 cents tax on every gallon here. Oklahoma 377. Dante is at the ready. Oh, he's ready for music. Okay. Should we do, what should we do? Should we do Viceroy of Greenland or the White Army? Which one do you want to hear, Vodka Model? Which one? Tell me. And yeah, I use AI now. I write lyrics and then I run them through an AI machine. I used to use Gemini, but it's become too woke, so I use ChatGPT. Clean up my lyrics a little bit so they make a little more sense, a little more lyrical. And then I put them in the Suno. I pick the genre. I pick the type of artist. I pick what I want, if I want a loud horn section or bass or a saxophone solo, things like that, piano. And then what I do is I generate the songs. Wyatt Army. He wants to hear the Wyatt Army. Okay, forgive me for this one, Scarlett, but this is a song that we made because I'm not arrogant enough to come up with the term Wyatt Army. One of my viewers who passed away from COVID, he was in South Africa a few years back, called my followers the Wyatt Army. I was slow to embrace that term, but out of respect for him, the Brew is his nickname, as in bro, the Brew, and so we did it. You should ask what I don't do. Be careful with the all caps, Scarlett. We delete those comments, but I'll let that one pass. All right, so let's go with the Wyatt Army, okay? Let's see, the Wyatt Army. Which one is it? Make sure I get the right one. It's this one, I think, isn't it?
The Wyatt Army.
I think it's that one. That's this one.
The Wyatt Army marches on.
I wrote this song.
For decades in the uniform, he held the line so tight, defending freedom everywhere from morning into night. From Europe down to Africa, the Middle East and home, the colonel hung his boots up, thought he'd rest his weary bones. He looked upon the world today, the chaos and the noise, and saw the messy circus of the digital decoys. He couldn't sit in silence, no, he couldn't look away. He waited in the battle, ready for a brand new day. They tried to shut the signal down, the shadow and the band, but you cannot stop the spirit of a mission-driven man. Folks took notice of the voice, the clarity, the spark, and gathered round the fire. He lit inside the dark, and the Wyatt Army marches on. The signal is steady, the confusion is gone. We don't need the fancies from the leftist side. We've got the colonel and the truth as our guide. Yeah, the Wyatt Army marches on until the fake news twilight turns to dawn. We see the objective, we know where we belong. The Wyatt Army marches on. From the loyal subscribers to the trolls beneath the bridge, to the hate wankers hiding on the digital ridge. It matters not who's listening, the evil or the kind, because the colonel's got the drive to open up the mind. Legacy media serving up the lens of lies and fake, but we shatter all the mirrors for the future's sake. Energy and enthusiasm breaking through the screen, the sharpest moral clarity the world has ever seen. They tried to shut the signal down, the shadow and the band, but you cannot stop the spirit of a mission-driven man. We see the objective, yeah, we see it crystal clear. The army is assembled and the victory is here. And the Wyatt Army marches on. The signal is steady, the confusion is gone. We don't need the fantasies from the leftist side. We've got the colonel and the truth as our guide. Yeah, the Wyatt Army marches on until the fake news twilight turns to dawn. We see the objective, we know where we belong. The Wyatt Army marches on. The Wyatt Army marches on. He served the flag with honor, he served it well. Now he serves the truth, saving us from hell. No stymie to his pace, no slowing of the stride, with the Wyatt Army marching right by his side. Truth will triumph.
So that, Scarlett, was a tribute to my viewers because the Brew came up with the Wyatt Army. Like I said, I was really uncomfortable with that. Someone else made that Wyatt Army graphic there for me. Yeah, I got a little carried away. They gave one of the lady rather large breasts. We had to reduce that to make them look more normal and human. Yep, and I don't eat onions. That's true. So, great production. What state do you call home? Well, I live in Pennsylvania right now, Scarlett. All right, so we're going to play this one. And then, Scarlett, if you hang around for this song and hang around for the next one, because the next one is one that my viewer came up with, and then I made a video. What do you guys want to hear next? You want to hear Lament of the Seven Seas, or do you want to hear The Colonel? I'm going to play Lament of the Seven Seas, then I'll play the song. Scarlett, don't go anywhere. Just don't go anywhere. I'm going to play Lament of the Seven Seas. Now, I made this song, and I created this video. This is about the Iranian Navy. So here you go. It's an Irish shanty.
Once we sailed the seven seas in the Iranian Navy, with a swagger in the breeze. In the Iranian Navy, we could do as we pleased, hearts full of pride and bravado. Once we arrogantly threatened every nation on the breeze. In the Iranian Navy, oh, raise up your glass and sing it loud and wavy, for the bold and brave sight of our Iranian Navy. From the Gulf to the foam of the Western Sea, we were masters of the tide and the spray. But the wind has turned and the cannon's gone silent. Who now will answer our plea? Once we ruled the raging foam, now we've no fleet to call our own. In the to the wind with our beards so well trimmed. In the Iranian Navy, steel beneath our boots and salt upon our skin. In the Iranian Navy, our friends invited us to Cape Town, proud and free and bold. Sailors on shore leave at Simonstown, stories bought and sold. Naval exercises with our friends from Moscow and Beijing. We already missed the brief fling. Our presence made Arab nations tremble. Our blockade made oil prices treble. All together, the bold, brave, mighty sight of our Iranian Navy. Oh, raise up your glass and sing it loud and wavy, for the roar and roll of the Iranian Navy. From the straits to the storm-lashed quay, we were thunder on the sea. But the dice were cast and the wager played, and pride went down with the fleet. Now we sing in taverns dim and cold of stories grand and growing old. Then the Iranian Navy, our supreme leaders played chicken with the dawn. Now all our ships are gone, rusting at the bottom of the sea. With whom shall we plea? In the Iranian Navy, mighty no longer sailing a lost dream. We see our song on lament and anger scream. Twisted hoax, a metal lie, billowing flames of despair. And a mighty Iranian Navy is no more, just smoke upon the air. We want to surrender, we have no future. We can't even get a dinghy in the water. No harbor light, no guiding star, no compass left to steer us far. So raise up your glass and sing it loud and wave, for the ghosts of the Iranian Navy. Though the fleet lies cold beneath the foam, we'll drink to the days we ruled the brine. For once we sailed the seven seas and did as we pleased. In the Iranian Navy, once we sailed the seven seas. Ha! Once we sailed the seven seas. Iranian babies.
That's an Irish shanty there, the Iranian Navy. So there's two more songs I want to play for people, and if she'll indulge me. So this is a song that one of my viewers wrote last year in February and March. She's in Spain. She's a South African who works there. She was interested in the refugee program. She watched my content, and she wrote the song. Now, I put the photographs to it. And then I want to play for you my favorite song that I've composed in Afrikaans. Yep, here we go. So this is the one that one of my viewers put together. Let me get this up there real quickly. Okay, here we go. So this is not me. One of my viewers put this together. So you still there, Scarlett?
Colonel Wyatt hits the screen, got stories bold and keen. Old soldier, sharp and mean, tells truths they've never seen. Rugby lover with a roar, Africa flowing in his core. YouTube rants they can't ignore, his passion makes his heart soar. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Military mind, keen and wise, truths come out, no disguise. South African skies in his eyes, hear his voice, no surprise. Retired soldier with the fight, in the dark he brings the light. Angry rants, truths ignite, join the cause, join the ride. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Enemies knocked on his door, trolls attack, but he's more with each click. Watch him soar on the truth waves, he explodes. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Right now, don't miss the brawl.
Yes, he wrote that song last year. That almost brought me to tears. It was so cool. I don't even know if she watched the program. It was really nice of her to do that. Yes, Big Fish, you missed Mad Max. Well, I mean, so my Save South African's got a lot of great photos too. Let me do that one very quick. I was going to do the Steve Hofmeyer song, but let's do the Save South Africa. And I'll do it with the photos of people and not the one where I do Caledon. Where's Save South Africa? Okay. Save South Africa. There we go. So this is April last year. I wrote this song in South Africa while I was there last year. Save South Africa. And these are photos of people from that trip.
Sunsets and skies so blue, mountains whisper stories of dreams so true. From oceans roaring wild to valleys deep, a heartbeat of a nation that will not sleep. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. People sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave and weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. We know it all.
And that's Stedman Hans, who was playing for the Stormers this week, or the Bulls. What was it? The Stormers. Anyway, yeah. So that was at Loftus when I was there. So yeah, so that was Save South Africa. I wrote that one last year. Some of those people in that video now reside in America. Yeah, and Steven says, I'm the only American fixing potholes in South Africa. That's true. And what was my reward for that? Because Gareth Cliff reposted that, and it got like 100,000 views. And I got attacks from black supremacists calling me a colonizer, telling me to go home for fixing potholes in Port Elizabeth. Big Fish says, honestly, if it was not for you, I would not be in the program coming USA. Getting approval last week is a mental meltdown for me. A huge hurdle to get over. Well, hang in there, Big Fish. Yeah, so did we lose Scarlett, or is she still there? She's gone quiet. So I'm going to play one more here. Hey, Jalopy, what's up? I'm play one more here, which is, hang on a second. Yeah, this is a song I wrote for Steve Hofmeyer, and this is an Afrikaans. Here you go, Scarlett. Wait till I start doing songs in German. That's next up. I'll be doing songs in German. But this is for Steve Hofmeyer, a musical legend in South Africa. He's a personal friend of mine. You saw him in that last one of those photos. So here we go. The photos were provided by Steve. The music is by me.
Die stofpad is lang, maar ons kom van ver. Om te staan in die lug, fyne suiderster. Die saal is gepak, die atmosfeer laai. Ons wag vir die oomblik, laat die musiek nou waai. Mense van heinde oor die vlaktes en berg, vir 'n man wat sy siel in elke noot verberg. Om te hoor sing, om hier te sien, dis die tipe respek wat 'n legende verdien. Van die sippie se storie groot verhoog, het jy ons laat lach, laat huil en laat glo. Agter elke man tot die diepste treurkront, dis jou voetspore vas op hierdie grond. Stuur jy die stem, die man van die dag, 'n rots in die storm, 'n vriend en 'n maat vir die taal, vir die volk, staan nie onbevrees, waar ander bly stil bly, sal jy die dat jy die waarheid onbeskaamd vertel. 'n Letterkundige gees met 'n pen in die hand. Jy skryf vir die siel van ons dierbare land. Beginsel vas teen die stroom en bly staan. Van die dae van Bruce tot in 7de laan. Dekades se passie, dekades se vuur. Jy gee alles vir ons, uur na uur. Ja, van Sippie se storie groot verhoog. Het jy ons laat lag, laat huil en laat glo. Agter elke man tot die diepste treurgrond. Is jou voetspore vas op hierdie grond. Stuur jy die stem, die man van die dag. 'n Rots in die storm, 'n vriend en 'n maat. Vir die taal, vir die volk staan jy onbevrees. Waar ander bly stil bly, sal jy die een wees. Oeh, Stephen, jou woorde vind ons krag. 'n Legende wat skyn in die donkerste nag. Laat die wêreld maar raas, laat die kritiese praat. Al ken jy die hart van 'n man van sy staat. Hy's meer as akteur, hy's meer as gesang. Hy's die stem van 'n volk wat na vryheid verlang. Steve, jy's die stem, die man van die dag. 'n Rots in die storm, 'n vriend en 'n maat. Vir die taal, vir die volk staan jy onbevrees. Waar ander bly stil bly, sal jy die een wees. Oeh, Stephen, jou woorde vind ons krag. 'n Legende wat skyn in die donkerste nag. Steve Hofmeyr, die legende. En woord en daad vir ons.
Oh, you haven't heard that song before? Oh, yeah, that song has got 87,000 views. It's got more than Steve's song last year, Uns Blut ist Ranja, Our Blood is Orange. Yeah, he got 50,000 views on that in this song. Now, Steve promoted a little bit, so thanks. Yep. So it's really awesome. Steve Hofmeyr, yep. As a friend of mine. I consider him a friend. I interviewed him for the first time in 2020 and have stayed in touch with him and visited him every time I've been to South Africa. We've gone out. We've hung out. He's great. Yep. So that's Steve Hofmeyr. And did we lose Scarlett? She's still here. You need an agent. I need to be appointed as an ambassador somewhere. That's what I need to be. Or an assistant secretary of defense or undersecretary of state, something like that. That's what I need. Yeah, great words. I guess I've been living under a rock, says Big Fish. Yeah, no, well... What about some of my other songs? We got some other ones. We got what's I'm trying to think of the ones that are the cute ones I did that are pretty funny here. Let me see. We did the expropriation one, but that's in English. What's the other one here I did? Afrikaans. ANC's got foot in mouth trouble. Actually, I need to do it this way because it'll show up over here in Suno in my library there rather than my PC. Let me see. Let me go. Where is Suno? There you go. Come on. I've got the Trade in the On card for the Trump card. That's a good one. In English and in Afrikaans. I did two versions of it. Oh, the human rights one, that's good. But you don't have to in South Africa get that. Pretoria Stones. Which one is that? Car guards in the USA. Dope in the pothole. That's a good one. It's another one I did in Afrikaans. Here, let's do Trolls Uninvited. You guys ready for this one? Trolls Uninvited? Oh, yeah. This is about the trolls. Got some more news to talk about if you hang around. Oh, I got a mosquito song too.
Why they be coming here with all their nonsense, tapping little tantrums like they're building some suspense, messing up the cool vibe, raining on the scene, acting like the internet's a middle school canteen.
Sad little lurkers with their bargain bin rage, throwing cheap insults from a lonely little cage. Stir
company tonight. We're dancing in electric light. No more trolls,
No more moody blues.
no more sour faces spreading bad reviews.
No more trolls. Take your drama home.
This is joy and glitter, not your grumble dome.
Hey, hey, get a life.
Find a hobby, ride a bike,
Call your mama, touch some grass.
maybe learn a little class.
No more trolls tonight.
What is missing from their lives anyway?
Did nobody hug them back in the day?
Did mama and pa not spank them enough?
Now they act online like they're hilariously tough.
Internet goblins lurking after dark.
Leaving cranky comments like aggressive little sharks.
Is the web the only joy they ever find?
Posting nasty bow while they slowly lose their minds.
So please, not another speech from Captain Negative. Preach, preach, preach.
Your Debbie Downer energy's expired.
This party is way too bright to get tired.
No more trolls. No more doom and gloom.
You can take that funky attitude right out the room.
No more trolls. No more bitter souls.
We got happy hearts and glitter disco gold.
Hey, hey, read the sign.
Good vibes only all the time.
If you came to wreck the fun.
Sorry, babe, your time is done.
No more trolls tonight.
Uh-oh. Somebody's typing in all caps again.
Should we panic?
Nah. Maybe take a nap.
Maybe get a snack.
Maybe realize the world.
Doesn't need your endless flag.
We're too busy laughing.
Too busy alive
Too busy dancing.
to kill the vibe.
No more trolls.
Let the good times roll.
Turn the neon higher. Let the positivity flow.
No more trolls. Bye bye gloomy crew.
There's no room for misery when the beat is this cool.
Hey, hey, move along.
Go complain somewhere else online.
This is joy and happiness, not your dour sour mess. No more trolls tonight.
No more trolls.
No more trolls.
Log off, babe.
And save your soul.
No more trolls tonight. Yeah, air saxophone. I love the sax. It's my favorite instrument. Good stuff. Might start feeling pain later. They took him down and kicked him. Who are you talking about, Meerkat? Oh, the wig. Yeah, I found that the other day. Where's that at? Where did I find that at? That was oh gosh, I just came across that. Is it here? Somewhere I've got that video. Oh man, I came across that video. I love that darn thing. Is it in a download folder? I'm trying to remember. Somewhere I came across that video. Oh gosh, I should save it in a spot where I can find it easily. Because I don't, oh man, it sucks. That's a funny one. For those who didn't see that, I did, it's pretty funny stuff. Let me see if I can find it very quickly here. Anyway, I got Joe Biden stuff. That's funny stuff there. My mind's going blank. That's Joe Biden's song. Come on, where's this thing at? I know I found it. I can't remember. So I got tens of thousands of files here, so I got to zip through stuff. Oh boy. Where's this bad boy at? If it's even here. Maybe it's somewhere else. Anyway, yeah, there is that one where I'm wearing they got the bleached blonde wig and the platinum blonde wig, and those are pretty funny. Don't know where the heck that's at, man. So anyway, but I just came across it the other day. It's pretty funny. Ouch, my shoulder's hurting. Oh, why my shoulder's hurting? Shouldn't be this far up. This is all stuff in the last year, so. Not seeing it. Maybe it's somewhere else here. Don't think it was here. Maybe it's in this folder. That might be where it's at. Persona non grata, that was the great one I did last year. No, it's not here either. I'll be darned. Oh, I got the Tom McDonald song. That one's here. Save that in this folder. Giselle promo. Goodbye, Joe. That was a good one from Tom McDonald. No, it's not there either. I don't know. It's somewhere. Anyway. Still got the wig. Well, my channel came back, Scarlett. It came back. No, but it wasn't the Wayback Machine. No, it didn't. It didn't have that stuff. Nope. When they took my channel away, I had to wait forever for my interview that I did with Steve Hofmeyer because I couldn't find the original I downloaded. I changed computers and somehow I couldn't find the file. Author Angel Lacaros, welcome to you. Yep. So, no, the Wayback Machine yet, but I've got my original channel back. So my brother was attacked this morning by 4 thugs to ride his bicycle at 4 o'clock. Luckily, another guy's son was able to retrieve his racing bike. Good Lord. Which reggae one? I got lots of reggae ones, Faithful Farmer. Lots of reggae. The last country song I did, which one was that? Human Rights? No, that was reggae. Brass Cement. No, Ladies Expedition. I'm not sure what the last country song you're talking about. Car Guards in the USA. Trolls Uninvited. Rainbow Nation. Lawnmower Man. I've got, how many songs in here now? I lost track. It was like 500 songs. Okay. Mel and Pete in Florida. We played that at the beginning. This Kidnapped by a Pimp. Remember that one? Yeah, that was pretty good. Mill Compensation. Who's in Charge? Oh, my Lone Star Meet and Greet. Which one was that? From my meet and greet in Texas back in February.
Pack your bags, leave the cape behind. There's a brand new horizon for us to find. From the streets of Joburg to the Pretoria Sun, a new chapter starting and it's just begun. It's not Santon, baby, and it's not Margate. We're trading the reef for the Lone Star State. No JRUN or the South Fork crew, just a red, white, and blue welcome waiting for you. From Bosnia's hills to the Botswana sand, he's carried the fire all across the land. A life for the flag, for the faith, for the free. Now he's opening the gates for you and for me. Oh, get ready for the Colonel's Texas meet and greet, where the Southers and the Patriots all dance in the street. Under the eagle's wings, where the spirit flies high, underneath that big old Dallas sky, it's camaraderie, it's liberty, it's a brand new day. South Africa, welcome to the USA. You've been through the fire, you've stood the test. Now come find your peace in the heart of the West. No more looking back at the shadows and gloom. In the land of the brave, there is plenty of room. Grab a plate, grab a hand, feel the Texas heat. There's a whole lot of love at this meet and greet. The Colonel is coming, yeah, he's leading the way to the greatest nation where we're gonna stay. Purpose and honor, moral and just, promise of freedom. We put our trust from the Southern Cross to the bright Lone Star. We know who we are, we know who we are. Yeah.
Well, that was from my meet and greet. That was a lot better than my first effort. My first effort was okay. Good night, Verushka. Sleep well. Scarlett left. All right, see you soon, Scarlett. Oh, the too much in your head. That's the, yeah, it's the, yeah, what's this? The, oh gosh. Voices in my head, yeah. Voices in my head, that's that one. Well, let me play this one more because I love this song. I love this song. This is one of my favorites. Ready for this one? So I also did after my meet and greet where I was so humbled in Strand last year.
Colonel Wyatt's got a plan so sweet. A meet and greet down Strand's wide street. South African sun kissed the air so bright. We shared our stories through the night. Dozens gathered hearts in sync. With every smile the spirits linked. A room of faces worlds apart, bound by camaraderie heart to heart. Cheers in the air, laughter grows. Friendships tight, it ebbs and flows. Strand lit up like golden beams. A night that turns into sweet dreams. The evening hung with fire and glee. Connections blooming wild and free. Words were sparks igniting light underneath the southern sky tonight. Oh, the beauty, unforgettable glow of strangers and friends we didn't know, tying threads that'll last and weave moments shared with hearts on sleeves. Cheers in the air, laughter grows. Friendships tight, it ebbs and flows. Strand lit up like golden beams. A night that turns into sweet dreams.
Meet and greet vibes. That was from last year, in April last year. Yep, that was special for me too because that launched all the meet and greets, and we had some really epic meet and greets last year. It was really cool. So, yep. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining me tonight. Appreciate you being here. But my hair's kind of messed up now. I got hat hair. I got hat hair. Thanks for joining me. We'll be back tomorrow with more news, and this is it for May. Say goodbye to May. It's actually June 1st now. June 1st. And I've got to go present an award for a young man in 5th grade who won a coloring contest. Where's that at? Whoops, where's it at? There it is. 5th grade, yep. 5th grade, second place winner. I got to go give him his award on the 3rd. So I'm looking forward to that. And Maritza, have a good one. Yeah, the meet and greet in Strand was unbelievable. I was so humbled. I was almost in tears. It was tough. Met some fascinating people then. It was really cool. Went around, tried to greet everybody possible. Yep. So I think a lot of people appreciate that. I really go through my best effort to meet as many people as possible and welcome them to my meet and greets. So it was really cool. That was awesome. Angelique, you take care. All right, have a good night, folks, and we'll see you later today. It's Monday, June 1st, 2026. God bless and be safe out there.